Good evening and a very warm welcome to The Real Talk. I hope that you are doing well, that your day is ending well. Tonight's guest is passionate about aviation, passionate about empowering young people, and I cannot wait for you to hear her story. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. We are at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiovu. Whenever you find time during the week, weekdays, Monday to Friday, they have the corporate lunch buffet, which I highly recommend. A small lunch meeting, office lunch meeting, come and have it here. Check them out on different social media platforms, atmosphere_KGL. We are live on our TV and on our YouTube channel. Let's see who the guest is. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for sparing time to join us. Our hashtag is The Real Talk. If you go online, say something. It's a comment or a question, a contribution to the conversation. We will find it as long as you have the hashtag there. Our guest is Shifaa Uwineza. Shifaa founded SciTech Inc. It's an organization that I want you to learn about, but before we get there, we will find out more about her. Shifaa, thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me and having me here.
Pleasure is all ours. Are you well?
I'm good.
That's good. Before we get to SciTech Inc., let's go back to where you were born and raised. What kind of family were you a part of? And share some childhood memories.
Well, thank you. I was born and raised in Rwanda in a family of 2 girls. I'm the firstborn. According to mom, we're 2 years apart, but according to me, it's like 1.5. Yeah, but if you spot us, you'd think she's the eldest, my sister. Yeah, basically, that's all. Yeah.
How was it growing up? Where were you guys raised? So when you say Rwanda, but where specifically?
Kigali.
Kigali.
Yes.
Nyamirambo by any chance?
Yeah, around there, actually, Rugunga, around there. Yes.
Okay. Going to school, did you start your studies within the same area? Or did you have to
Yes,
move?
primary, Rugunga.
Okay.
And then secondary, I did 2 schools. Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux, a girls' school in Kigali. And then I moved to Lycée de Kigali. I did my A-level there. I was doing math, physics, and geography as my core subjects.
As a student, how were you? Were you the bookworm, or were you the type that would spend time disturbing others, and the time of exams, you're the one passing without reading?
I was barely noticeable, but I did try to work. Like, I really did love math a lot, as well as geography. Physics was silent in my whole, yeah. But, like, I loved math. And performance, I did try. When I switched schools, I was tested. But, like, I tried to work hard. I moved from, like, the lowest percentage you can think of to try to get better. And I did work on that.
Yeah.
It
When you
worked out
moved
well.
schools, was it because you had gone to a new environment? Is it because you had left your friends behind?
No.
What would you say affected you most?
What affected me most was the system. We were used to, we had teachers that would mix, let's say, French and Kinyarwanda when teaching us, as well as English, but like we were used to that. And then when I moved to a lycée, it was more of a Ugandan style in a way, you know, and mostly I wasn't familiar. I was used to teamwork at Notre Dame, but at lycée it was more of like trying to find myself and again build a system that would work for me, even if it's like a support group, something like that.
You don't feel like your teachers were supportive enough?
They were actually.
Okay.
They were a lot. Mostly my math teacher, he did his...
And then your passion for aviation, because I know, for science, let's go back to that love for science at that young age. I did horribly in science. I performed badly. I have all E's in physics, biology, chem. My God, I hated science. But you seem to have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And you've grown with it until now.
Yeah.
When did this love for it set in?
I think as we grew up, I think my dad and my mom played a huge role in that. They used to tell us, you have to love math, you have to love math. When I moved, like let's say I'm moving from primary P3 to P4, they'd say, okay, you did well in P3, but P4 is going to be harder. You must focus on that math as well as set, right? Do your homework. They would check our homeworks. They'd like verify. Sometimes
Very involved, huh?
yeah, we used to sign our homeworks ourselves just so but like yeah, like that played a huge role in our like in my science in my love for science.
Yeah.
So I loved particularly geography as well as math, and picking MPG meant that I had to like it was my only option to like study aviation, according to me. Everyone who did MPG, that means, oh, you're going to be a pilot. So I picked that so that I could do that in the future.
You wanted to become a pilot.
Yes.
Had you ever interacted with a pilot? Had you been on a plane
Not
before?
not until recently. Yeah.
Is this something you wanted?
Yeah, it's not like I would be lying if I were to say that it happened with me spotting some particular person doing great in that field, or like hearing a story or like watching a movie. No, I
You
just
have never
knew.
even had a story.
Yeah,
Then how did you pick on pilot?
I don't know. I just
Because, you know, when growing up would say, I want to be a teacher because there's that teacher of yours.
yeah,
Or
who's
there's a
doing
teacher
great.
next door.
Yeah.
Then I want to be an engineer. Somewhere in the village, there's a
Yeah, no,
boy or a girl who's an engineer.
No.
So if you wanted to become a pilot, there had to be a story that
Yeah.
inspired you. You had none
It
of
would
that.
be cliche if I were to say, "Oh, I saw this person doing great in that field.
You'd be
I
lying
want
if you
to
said
be to
that.
do that too." No, it would be a huge lie.
And so on your own then, how did you grow this? How did you nurture that dream?
Well, to be honest, it was quite tricky. Like mostly the starting point, or like even gathering the right information, like knowing, oh, these are the amounts of pilots that are in Rwanda, this is what they do, this is their lifestyles. It's not like someone was doing vlogs about it, or like there is an
Yeah.
airline and we want to see what happens behind the scenes. No one was doing that for us to like know what like my career would look like in the future. But yeah, I did
I don't
my
think we even
best.
had an airline then, did we? Was Rwanda already operational?
I'm not sure. I actually don't
Because I
quite
know it's
remember.
only recently that they started inviting students into the
Yeah,
space, and now they're talking more about the
yeah,
operations and teaching people.
we didn't do that.
Yeah.
But in high school, there's this one time they had some sort of camp, right, that was ongoing. I don't remember the amount of money we were supposed to pay, but they approached Lycée Notre-Dame de Citeaux and MPG. Obviously, we were the only girls there and everything. So we had a one-on-one with one of the pilots, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then it was great, and they gave us some forms to take home because we were, I think, done with like the second term. It was in 2K18. And then they came through, we learned a lot. But then the camp, I don't remember what happened in that time, but I wasn't able to attend. But it was great. It was great. So we knew about that as well.
Okay. How was it then? Because when I look at your profile and after you went through school,
Yeah.
you started your own sort of organization
Yeah.
to help people like you that needed information on aviation and
Yeah.
did not know where to go.
Yeah.
So this little experience of yours, you decided, I have gone through this, let nobody else suffer as much as I have suffered.
Yeah.
Took us through the process that you went through to start off SciTech.
Yeah. Well, I've seen days.
You've seen
honestly.
days.
Yeah.
Literally.
It was crazy.
Give that to us. Break it down. By the way, Shifaa, we are not in a rush.
Of course.
We want to hear that full story. So you've seen days. What do you mean by that?
Well, the journey was not as swift as I hoped that it would be. We started off, I actually started looking for schools probably in 2022 because I got my diploma in 2021, I think in July. And then I did well, some A's, I did great, NE. And then starting like, let's say finding, for instance, a school in the first place. Honestly, when I searched aviation in Rwanda, the first thing that came up, like Google search, was the then achievement of Rwanda. And then going down, scrolling, nothing. I'm like, okay, but where does this lead me? And then, like, after the like,
No school, no information
nothing.
on training.
Nothing except for Akagera Aviation. I saw some, but I didn't know like who do I call? Do I send an email? I did write an email, I'm pretty sure, but got no reply, sorry, or anything. So after that, I think after like the fourth article, I saw one for Uganda, right, and then another one for Kenya. So I was like, okay, these are my only options. And then when I clicked for like Uganda, the courses were like, you know, certificates, air traffic control, let's say cabin crew. Yes, that one. It always pops up.
Cabin crew always pops up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then piloting is always the last with the fans. You check the fans, you're like, wow, I'm cooked. It's going to be tough
It's
here.
gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, and then there is, it was after COVID, my aunt had been there. The thing about lacking direction, when you lack direction, someone gives it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but by then, I thought it was like hopeful, like, okay, I'm going to start now. So she had been residing in Canada for a long time, and then she came back, probably COVID hit her and she realized, oh, I've been away from my family for a long while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one time we talked about school and everything. I told her I was done with my high school. I'm trying to do aviation, but like I literally don't know where to start from and everything. And then she was like, okay, my daughter, who's like my cousin sister, she's the oldest, she was studying at Carleton University in Canada. And then I went through the programs, I checked, nothing about aviation. But then I landed on Elgert Queen University. That one had, it had aviation management, right? It was good. The thing about having like a relative there, he gives you hope. You think because she's there, it will be easier for me to go there too.
Exactly.
And study. So the funds, 10,000 USD, 10,500.
For the entire course?
Yeah,
or,
like no,
or
1 year,
1 year,
2
1
semesters.
1 year, 2 semesters.
Yeah.
$10,000.
Yeah, and then that's new to my parents. I was doing Lycée de Kigali, the like per term what you pay is nothing compared to
But you must have known it was going to be expensive.
Yes,
Yeah, at least
I did.
Even if you haven't found that information, you'll just have an idea.
Yes.
It's the plane.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
flying the plane.
But imagine it's that expensive and it's aviation management. That's
No,
like that's not my
different.
field.
That's not what
that's
you're
not what I
interested in.
want. Like I was like, okay, good. I checked through everything and then they were like, the first important thing is for you to land, like to reach here. Maybe if you do, we'll find other options. So like by then I was like, okay, if this is my option, then let's go for it. I applied, getting like an acceptance letter, 2 seconds. Okay, not 2 seconds, but like it doesn't take that much
that was quick.
time. Yeah, it was quick. And then the next thing, like after acquiring all the documents, first of all, I didn't know what IELTS was. I'm not sure if it's me being ignorant or anything, but like I didn't know that there are some preparations that you have to do by your own. Like prepare your transcripts. That's a no-brainer. Everyone has to know. You must have your transcripts.
Have your stuff in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, you prepare your IELTS. They see, like they check IELTS or TOEFL just to, like your English. How good is it? Like hearing, listening, like talking and writing as well. And then after that, like after submitting that, the visa, like that one, wow, insane.
And
You
you got the admission letter before sitting the TOEFL exam.
No, I got after you must submit.
You must submit your
all that
results first. Okay.
Yeah, and then after that we went for like the visa process. We had two options. First, a person who was telling us if, okay, this is how it goes. These are like your options are limited to two if you have, like, if you want to do aviation independently. Either you join the Navy or you sit down your parents, you tell them this is all you have to gather, like this is the amount of money. Even
But if you join the Navy, then they'll pay for you.
yeah.
The government will pay for you.
Yes, yes, yes.
But if it's an own-sponsored initiative, then yeah, the parents have to bear the burden.
Yes. So like bring those.
And you're not thinking of the Navy.
No, no,
Okay.
no. Yeah, but so like even
I also imagine, I don't think you can just come from Africa and go straight to the Navy. You've got to be there for some time.
yes, there
Yeah.
are requirements. It's not as easy as I make
Isn't
it
that
sound.
straightforward?
Yeah, yeah, but like it's an option. It's
Oh,
and
yeah.
some people are glad it's an option for them. Yeah, but like for us who cannot even consider that an option, that means you have to sit down your parents. You tell them, get that money.
Is this an amount they could raise? Were your parents willing to? Could
So,
they afford it?
Apparently,
Sometimes the willingness is there.
yeah, with the options that we had, like this one person who had like a visa agency, he's like a visa provider in other words. He told us, well, if you have land, put value to them, and then maybe we'll give those copies instead of financial statements, right? That proves how money has been going and like the record so far. And then that was option one, sorry. And then option two was with someone who told us, so all you have to do is pay me 2,000, and then I get you a sponsor, like someone who's going to give us a letter saying, I am recognizing this person as someone I'm going to sponsor for her school.
Yeah, and then they present their bank statement.
Yes.
But for a fee, you've got to pay them, eh?
Yes, that was like 2,000 precisely.
2,000.
And then, obviously, to my parents, that was probably the best option. Instead of gathering that 60M and putting it on your bank account and trying to prove some sort of back and forth movement on the account when there had been no money in
When
the
there's
first
been no
place,
money on the account,
they would be like, okay, this is
that
good,
would be detected
but
easily.
like, yeah, it was not a good plan. So the 2,000 was the right one.
Yeah.
But the thing about us, we didn't really think about, let's say, telling this person, we need a contract. The person was like, it's like betting on something. It's like sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. That's like the visa process in Canada. Most of the time, I'm not going to tell you it's going to work out for you, but yeah. And then we had to like, first of all, understand that. And then as a family, we had to gather and talk about it. Like my dad and mom, they were so
take.
they were so supportive about it. I would tell them, if you feel like this is not the right way to go about it, let's probably find another option. But then they were like, okay, but so far this is what we know of, so let's go all in and everything. I was grateful that they did that for me.
Yeah.
Like, as a person, it encourages you a lot. And then, well, we
Please
waited.
tell me you ended up in Canada eventually. Oh, man.
No, sorry.
Shifaa.
There's no happy ending to this.
There's no happy ending to this.
No.
I was waiting for that.
Sorry.
My goodness,
Yeah,
what happened?
So we waited for about 6 or 9 months. One random day I was at work. I was actually sitting in a department that's not even mine. I was there to gather.
So in between you had found a job.
Yes, I had been working.
If aviation comes, well
we
and
go.
good.
But
Yes.
if it doesn't, let's keep getting the money.
Okay.
Let's secure the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got like an email, and then I first called my mom before opening the email. I told her, Mom, I think the results are out and everything. And then she was like, okay, take your time, breathe in, breathe out, and then we see. And then it was a rejection.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was sad and everything,
Yeah.
but the first thought that came to my mind, honestly, was, where did it go wrong? Like, we had the sponsor, I had good grades, I had the transcripts. We did the whole plan and everything, so
Exactly.
the passport is valid, everything. So
What went wrong?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then in the document.
Did you ever figure that out?
No, the visa agent, they didn't tell us anything. They were
Yeah.
like, oh, sometimes when they reject you, they don't even give you a reason.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
At times they'll tell you things like you didn't have enough money,
Right, right.
or you didn't prove you would be coming back after your studies.
Yeah.
Some very fake
Eh,
excuses.
yeah, after like a few days, my mom was like, okay, what are our options now? Like, what do we have? Is there an A? Is there a B? Is there a
Yeah, or was that one?
BI to B, like sub, something like that? And then we were like, okay, what about retrying, like redoing the whole process? And then they asked the agent, he was like, okay, this time around it's going to be like $200 because we had already worked together. There was still money. He's the
Yeah.
one who's supposed to like tell us for me to be credible, maybe the second try, let me do it myself or something.
Yeah, and then
Usually
you'll only pay me probably once everything goes
everything
through.
goes through, yeah. But like, no. My mom and dad were actually willing to go for it. And then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
You stopped them.
Let me find a strategic way. Like, let's create a strategic plan to this. Let's find a way to, like, first of all, get, like, the admissions and everything without having to put money out there first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Do whatever we can do without spending money.
yeah, unless, like, after you get the good results, that's when you involve the money. But for now, let's first take a step back. And then I was browsing through a lot. At work, I think I'm one of the people who use the Wi-Fi a lot, trying to find the schools and everything. And then my boss
Your
would
boss has never
probably
found
thinking that I'm working.
But you're working
She's
for
a
the
workaholic.
company.
Whoa.
Now they're watching the program and they know it.
I'm sorry.
They know you're spending their Wi-Fi on your own
I'm
things.
sorry. The future is the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So
Yeah.
I tried to get some options, like some schools. Poland was the first one that popped up, easy to like apply to and everything. The university was called UITM. It was easier. It had aviation management. It was 4,000, and then I was like, okay, this is affordable in a way, and you know the process was good. For them, they didn't even require a medical report, which was great. Usually, you have to go through that process as well, so it was easier. Basically, like one of the things that was tricky in my journey was not having the right information. Yeah.
When you look back, with hindsight, where should you have gone seeking information?
Let me take an example. Like currently, we recently heard about this new program that Rwanda is launching, like for training youngsters, and then we heard about it. All of us did. On LinkedIn, people are sending me links. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? So if we had, for instance, those kinds of, I don't know if it's the marketing or if it's, maybe that's where the effort should be, like the marketing, making sure. I'm pretty sure there are good options out there. The government has already provided those, but we don't know about them. There is no information out there.
Yeah.
Right? So I've been in the creative field for a while, a year I think, and one of the things that works out is the SEO, right? If you are writing an article and you put the right thumbnails, the right keywords, the right hashtags, when someone has a question, they're going to.
They will find you.
Yeah. So maybe if there were options like those, you have a program, you would like to guide us, you are credible as a training or something, and you use the right hashtags and everything, that would lead me to you, and it would help me. I would find the information that I'm looking for.
That's interesting, because what I expected you to tell me is, as the student interested in this information, then I should go online and Google aviation schools in Kenya, in East Africa. But what you're saying is there could be aviation schools and even airlines with such programs, but they're not marketing them enough.
Yeah.
because there's you doing a general search, but there's you at least having a hint
Yeah.
that one day is doing something,
Of
and so you
course.
go and search specifically for that one day program, training
Yes.
program, and you
Yes.
get it. So what you're saying is for people who have such initiatives that they're running, they need to do a bit more marketing.
Yes, that would work.
That would work.
So well. You find us in schools, you tell us, like the program I told you about.
Yes, the
That
camp
that
that you had.
that really helped. Some girls at least. I think it did help them out for those who attended. But like I would have if I had attended and if there had been more of those, like more programs that looked like those, it would have helped. Like it would have probably made my journey easier.
Very true.
Not like the 2000 wouldn't have gone out of the blue. Like
Yeah,
just
because
like
that money you'll never get back.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a short break, Shifaa.
Sure.
I love your story so much. We're talking to Shifaa Uwineza. When we come back, we'll get to know more of what she's doing now with people her age and even those younger than her. How is she helping people get to know where to find information if aviation is what they're interested in? Thank you for sparing time to watch us. To watch the show. We are at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiovu. You should visit them. Find them on Twitter as Hotel Mythos. That's a Hotel Mythos Twitter handle. You can also check out Atmosphere_KGL for the Atmosphere restaurant. We will be back in a bit. Welcome back to The Real Talk. Use that hashtag if you're anywhere online, you want to reach out, you have a comment, you've got a question, both Shifaa and I will be there to respond to you. Shifaa, let's talk about SciTech, how you ended up starting it. So, but first and foremost, did you eventually enroll at UITM, and how's that coming along?
Well, I did twice actually. I tried once, and then it was around July when I got, I think, my results, like the visa, the rejection and everything. I took a month to like check out some schools, and then when I did, I found UITM. I enrolled. It was easy. I got an admission too soon. Unfortunately, it was around, if I had, like, I got the admission around August, and then I was supposed to start in September. There is no way it would
that
have
was too
worked
close.
out.
Yeah.
So I took my time, and then I started again so that I could try for the next intake. I told them about the fact that it was too soon, and then they understood me. So I enrolled again. I tried, and it worked out as well. And then after that, the visa process started again. Hectic.
I hate the visa process.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So this was the issue. There is no embassy in Rwanda. You have to move to Tanzania. That's one. That's not even the issue. The issue is getting an appointment. You will wait and wait and wait and wait. There will be no date that's open.
Because if they're serving the East African region, if the
Yes.
Tanzania office is not serving the East African region, there could be many people applying, so you've got to wait.
Yes. So eventually, I still do have an admission, and it still is an ongoing process, but Mom, I think Mom won't like me mentioning this. Apparently, when you talk about your plans,
Don't mention it.
It doesn't work through. Yeah.
They say if you're working on something, do it quietly.
Yeah, at this
Don't talk
point,
about it. You talk about
try
it,
to
you've
keep
cast
it to yourself. Pray about it.
You
Allow
pray
us to have
about
some
it.
time.
Oh my God. What can government do to help? You know, we've talked about sector players like Rwanda. Do you have an aviation training school?
If Akajira counts itself as an aviation
Because I don't
training
count
school,
Akajira as an aviation school,
yeah,
training school.
well, then I'm not
Then
sure
you're
there
not, you're
is
not sure.
an
So sector players, you've said what they should do. If they have these programs, they should market them better. They should visit schools, because it's at that age that we start thinking of what we want to become in the future.
Yes.
What can government do to ease this burden? Because as you sit here, you're representing a lot of other young people, both male and female, who have that ambition. Their ambition is to become a pilot. They want to become an aero engineer, the different roles in there. And they wish there could be some intervention from the government. What can the government do so that they're not suffering alone?
To be honest, they're already doing their best. We're happy, like, because I'm pretty sure there are countries that don't even know about, like, they don't even probably have an airline or where to start from and everything. There are programs like the one I recently heard about. The one I think all of us are enrolled. We tried to we tried to apply.
Yeah.
We hope for good results, and
The results are not yet out, huh?
yes.
Oh, okay.
So I think the only thing that would work out, those mentorship programs would help a lot. Or if there are initiatives that are already trying to clear a path, maybe co-working, if there are any ways they could do something together, it would help.
How about scholarships? Because I know we have scholarships for different courses. Do we have a scholarship for aviation?
I was getting there, thank you.
Keep going.
The whole thing about scholarships is, like, it would be a great thing. It would actually be the greatest, because as much as healthcare does get those scholarships, or like any other field that's as impactful as healthcare in science, I think aviation too could. And the criteria shouldn't be as tough as they make it sound, right? Like, not scoring 90% and everything. It counts. It counts. You doing your calculus, it does help. Being able to understand some physics formula, yes, it does. But like, or like even the early stages, getting some trainings on the early stages, these are the requirements. This is how we should go. This is the behind the scenes, like, this is what you should expect. There are so many departments that are as powerful as piloting is in the aviation field, but none of us know about it.
Yes.
So if they were to, like, explain to us, as an air cabin crew person, this is what I do. As a, maybe behind the scenes, the security part of it, this is what I do, and it does help. Security,
the person at the tower, the one who
everything.
directs the
Air
pilot.
traffic control.
The
Yes,
air traffic control, yeah.
yes, it would, it would. So mostly awareness, that would help. Mentorship programs, co-working, like for SciTech we're already trying. So if we could get some sort of help,
It would help.
yeah.
What are you doing at SciTech?
At SciTech, when I started, I had the idea around July 2024. What I wanted was to have a platform, to be honest, a platform that guides, like, this is the education, career, like the education, the career, this is the path, like, this is what you need.
You were using your experience to draw up this sort of guide.
Like a blueprint.
Yeah, okay.
This is A, this is B. You get to see like this. But like, it's not, I'm not sure that my experience is the best, or like I am entitled to like guide you as a person, but it would be great to start. So
Let me tell you, exactly. Don't even undermine the role you're playing. Your contribution is huge. There are times when you think, maybe what I'm doing, well, I am not qualified enough to be sharing this. But no, you'd never know. Yeah, it might help.
yeah, thank you. So in my head, when I what I meant by platform was having a website at first. So I tried to work with a friend of mine, and then other two friends who are at Rwanda Coding Academy. The initial idea or request was for them to come up with a website that's user-friendly and that has sections. The first section was to be all about, like, these are the upcoming events that we're planning. And then stories, which would be all about, this was my experience, because I'm not sure I'm the only one who's trying to get into the aviation field.
No doubt.
So let's say 15 people share me their stories. We come up with articles. We upload them every week just for you to see. Right. That
I'm
was
just looking through your work online.
Yeah. Other than that, we also wanted to have like, let's say if you want to, if we're having trainings, this is where we talk like it's a community. Let's send in those ideas. I wanted it to work like Discord. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Discord. Like, we could volunteer on different projects through Discord. And we don't know
I'm not
each
familiar.
other.
I was born before computers.
Sorry.
What's my excuse?
Apologies. Sorry. Yeah, so we tried to like have that platform for a while, but we ended up not working through it and seeing how it goes. They gave me just a prototype, and I don't blame them. They had school
Yeah.
ongoing, so they had to go to
So
school,
busy. And they didn't have time to
process,
fine tune it,
and give
brush
me
it.
the final product. No,
Okay.
not on time. I wanted to start early September. So what I did was I used my LinkedIn, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to use my LinkedIn and probably create an Instagram account. By then, I had two friends who had already, I had tried to work with them on different projects, but in the tech field, mostly tech. So I knew my way in terms of social media, right? So we tried to use social media, like Instagram precisely, as the platform, and LinkedIn as a way of recapping what we've done. So eventually, we launched. Launching was almost like having a workshop. So we first, I had invited Miss Natasha Ingabire from Rwanda. She is the CRM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she joined. She was willing to help, and then she couldn't attend last minute, but she sent someone, and I'm glad he came through. And
You
then
called it the Aviators Assembly Workshop.
yes, it was
Okay.
called the Aviators
Yes, I
Assembly
can
Work.
see it here.
I'm pretty sure everyone heard of it. It happened from
Yeah.
Digital Transformation Center.
Beautiful.
Yeah, about 30 girls attended.
Wow.
And we talked about the different departments that are there, career options, how to start. Like, they were all fresh graduates, mostly from my former schools, which was quite funny. I'm pretty sure, like, I knew their grades. I
Yeah.
know, like, the percentage. We know we used to work hard at that school.
Yeah.
So I was sure that they were the right people. Like, it wasn't about the math or the physics. I
Yeah.
just know if they had the passion, it would work out.
And was it an open invitation or did you
Open
handpick the people?
invitation,
Okay.
actually. I
Okay.
put like a Google form. If you're willing to attend, come
Yeah.
through.
Come through.
Yeah. And we had a great session. We talked to Muhoz. He was the person who they sent, Mr. Muhoz. And we had a good talk about everything in the, let's say, the CRM precisely. And then it was great. And we talked to the international recruit at UITM. You remember I had applied to that school.
Yeah.
So he told them about the school, the aviation program, and then as well as the biggest question was, do you have scholarships?
Yeah.
And then he was like, unfortunately, no, we don't, which was, yeah, for them.
I know that for the longest time, the excuse for not having scholarships has always been it's an expensive field.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I just wonder, over the years, haven't they tried to find a way of making it less expensive? Because again, for how long will you say we have no scholarships? Because that's aviation is expensive. Make it cheap. Make it affordable.
Real
So that it doesn't
talk,
lock people out.
real talk about this, even when you have that, like you go to an affordable school, the diploma that you get, does it get recognized?
It will be recognized. That's the thing.
If you have about 10 people who applied, you are going to be the 9th that they're going to consider. If they don't already have their 3 options ready, sorry, next time
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, that's how it goes.
It doesn't help.
Yeah.
That's really terrible. How do you see us moving forward? In February, we celebrated Women in Science. And sometimes we talk about women in science, we talk about the government supporting science as a field. We could be mistaken for thinking things are easy. After all, they have the backing of the government.
Yes.
But now from your story, and I'm glad we're having this conversation, you're showing us that it's not that smooth. You know, it's not that smooth. You've got lots of challenges
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Where do you hope we will be, or where do you see us going in the next 5 years or so?
5 years is tough. Let me first start with probably next month. Let's see how next month goes, and
Okay.
then I can maybe tell you. First off, I think, well, I pray that by the end of March maybe, we'll have found some schools, like open admissions that we could collaborate with, mostly as SciTech, We put the schools on our platforms. We tell them these are the schools, they're open, these are the requirements. You could be the perfect candidate, apply, or maybe work with visa providers. Like we are legit. We offer you a contract, a refund policy is there in the contract, it's mentioned. Let's work together. That would be great. Now, another thing that I would probably hope that would happen is opening researchers, like volunteering on different researches. I do that personally. I am part of an initiative, it's called Youth STEM Initiative. Most of the people, I don't even know them. But when they say, like, explain yourself, who are you? I say, I am willing to, like, take on any project that goes hand in hand with aviation. Bring it.
That's your introduction.
Yes. Just tell me, I'll work on it. Currently, we're working on healthcare with aviation. And so far, it's going well because we picked Zipline in Rwanda, what Zipline does in Rwanda, as a case study. So if there were, like, in the future, I think those will be more open, like what aviation in other industries, other than just the economic part, that would also be a huge milestone, maybe in the future.
That would be something to explore.
Yeah.
What keeps you hopeful that aviation is where you will eventually thrive, even if it's taking long to happen?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, obviously there is God, there is family, and then there is the dream, like something that keeps you up at night. You're like, I have to get this, I have to do this. Obviously, yes, it has been a tough ride, honestly, and I know eventually I'll make it. I have to. It's personal.
Yeah.
So if you have something...
You're not giving up?
No. Not even an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to do it for myself, for the people who've believed in me, and it has to happen. It will happen.
And for those younger than you, well, if you were to speak directly to a young girl watching you, she's seated in her parents' living room in Huye or somewhere in Bugesera, Nyagatare, this young girl who's dreaming of aviation, but then she feels like it's impossible. It's impossible. What would you say to that girl?
Honestly, I would say keep moving. Like, there will be so many obstacles. There has to be, like, uncountable obstacles, but it won't always be like that. There are initiatives that are trying to clear the path, trying to guide you, trying to launch those trainings. Currently, we even have a drones training we're doing. It's going well so far.
Where are you doing that from?
Digital Transformation Center.
Okay.
They gave us
So drones
this
training,
space.
meaning you're training people how to drive?
No.
Sorry, is it
not
driving pilot?
It's flying.
Flying. Shame on you, Jackie.
Millennium.
Gosh.
I think it's all about trying to understand the functionalities of a drone. We do the discussions mostly. We gather the resources. I do. That means I use AI to first get the books that, like, we need a chapter to read through every day.
Okay.
Understand, let's say, the anatomy, the different airframes, the physics to it, the physics to a drone. And then there is also the working part to it. There is the brain to a drone. And then flying, unfortunately, we don't do that because it wouldn't work out. We don't even have the needed equipment so far. But we use what we have, and Digital Transformation Center has been helping us a lot in terms of the project and giving us a head instructor who's experienced in this field. The training lasted for 3 weeks, learning, doing some practicals, maybe 1 day, 2 days on precisely Saturdays or Sundays at Digital Transformation Center. And then from then, we had in mind that we had to work on a capstone project, which was mostly trying to figure out what we've learned so far, what we've covered, and then what's coming next, right? Like what we've retained, the kind of information we've retained.
Okay.
It was organized in a way that 5 people would work together, but we're about 8 girls, so it's 4-4. And then
Group work.
yes, and then honestly, I haven't been a good person for like group work. I'm very self-reliant, but this has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, with different tasks and everything. We got the lab from ALU. We worked with someone who's been in this field of robotics for a long while.
Okay.
His name is Shifaa Uwineza. And he helped us out trying to acquire the lab for a while and work from there. They helped with the instructions and everything.
That's good.
He had advised me prior that they don't have the drones,
Yes.
so maybe the information will be drones and robotics at the end. But like we did try to make it eventually.
Yeah. You don't find drones.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'll get those from.
But
You know, Shifaa, you have such an amazing story. And honestly, from this conversation, I hope that someone is watching and they have picked something. They're either going to support your efforts or they're going to pick up on the advice you've given to help people that will come after you.
yes.
So that you're the last girl to go through those hurdles that you've gone through. I do hope that from this conversation, things will change for sure. And that the future for women and girls
Yes.
in science will be bright
Yes.
and with less talk and more work. you
Yes,
know, more
that would
action.
be probably the best thing that could ever happen to me and SciTech as a project. Or like it would be the answer to it would be the vision that we had
Yeah,
put in place. Like it would be the implementation of the initial idea.
that'll be fantastic. Where does someone find you? They're looking for SciTech, they want to collaborate with you, they want to learn from you.
Yes, SciTech Inc. is on LinkedIn as well as Instagram. We write to us on LinkedIn, we'll reach out. You can write to me on LinkedIn as Shifaa Uwineza. I'll reach out as well. I'll revert back quite quickly.
I know you. Yeah.
And Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Instagram is the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shifaa. You are amazing, and I wish you all the best. I wish
Amen
you
and
all
thank
the
you.
best. Thank God you have the advantage of age. You're young, so indeed you're going places.
Inshallah to that.
Thank you so much for making time to join us on The Real Talk. Please share the link so that we have as many people as possible catch this conversation. It will be beneficial. You never know, maybe to someone in Rwanda, East Africa, the entire continent. There's so much that you can learn from Shifaa. I have learned, silently thinking, I need to have a talk with her on the side, visit SciTech, and just get the first-hand experience of what is involved in the work that they do. Thanks a lot for your company, and we do look forward to seeing you again next week. A big thank you to Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kyovu for hosting us. God bless you.